Hey everybody, so I have a game for you, 3v3. What the hell, I just won a game on Drop Division rank. Grr! Must mean somebody else also won a game as well. So anyways, I have a game for you, 3v3, that we have won, yeah, due to another awesome strategy. The last game we won as well, but it was totally not worth showing you guys that game. It was pretty boring. Anyways, if we look at the resource collection rate, oh, look at Teal tank when we hit him, and Orange tanked right after. Anyways, really whatever. Oh, I think Teal was on our team. I'm so confused. Maybe he wasn't, but maybe these are just in order of total score. I don't know. Anyways, as you can see, there's some of the summaries. No, it's not total score. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, let's jump right into the replay now and figure out what the hell went on. And enjoy a good game too, right? Yeah, that's what we're all about. Anyways, Teal is on my team, so he did tank somehow. Not really too sure how. Oh, I know. I remember now. Yeah, we sort of left him to die. I should say I did. Anyways, we have X-Re-Chick, or X, I'll call him. We have Faith, and we have me. Those are the three of us on the top. Now, this map's quite interesting. There are destructible rocks on either side, which will take quite a while into the game to destroy. Otherwise, for the beginning of the game, you're going to have to travel across this giant ramp, which vision is controlled by these Zelnaga towers. It's really easy to control where your opponent's going, and it's really easy to group up your army, if you're smart. Anyways, so I basically said we're going to do a bum rush tier 1 units early in the game. So what does that mean? Not too much. It just means that you're going to attack early with low tier units. Almost like a, in 1v1 it'd be almost considered a cheese strategy. So, probably a 10 pool, a 2 racks, and a 2 double gateway with pumping out zealots. So we'll get some attacks on early, and the idea with this build is you punish your opponents early on in the game by combining your forces to make an army that's bigger than theirs, but you got to do it quite early in the game because you want to do it before anyone has any sizable units. If one person only has 3-4 units and you combine all of your groups to have 10 units, you can probably kill all 3 or 4 of his units while only losing 1 unit. So you're going to be much stronger when the reinforcements show up. Anyways, we can see a bit of dancing going on there. Nothing too fancy. So I brought up the production tab for no reason other than because, well, just Anyways, let's bring up the army tab now. As we can see, Orange being very slow to build any units, not a good choice at all there. And as you can also see, we have all of our units grouped up. Look at that. Yeah. Oh! What's that? Look at that. Way bigger than theirs. They're just not building enough units as part of the problem. And if we look at the income tab, Red has been sacrificing workers, which you really don't need to do, and so is Teal. So, you don't really have to do that, but they have been. And of course, Purple now forced to build a bunch of units. I saw those zealots there. Now I'm controlling them. You can tell by the dark blue ring around them. So I'm saying, let's go screw up this Terran. Of course, reinforcements are coming in. You gotta be careful. Reinforcements cutting off our reinforcements. Not a good story. So now I'm trying to regroup our army as much as possible. You want to try and keep your army grouped as much as possible at all times. But I did send a couple zealots and a marine out there, or like 3 or 4 units just to do some serious damage while fighting the rest. As you can see, army streaming across the map. I'm controlling the majority of it. And of course, this is where I say I left the guy to die, because, well, yeah, he was getting bum rushed by Zerglings and made the wrong choice to fight back. There we go. Anyways, yeah, units are going to defend him. I pulled them away, and then I was like, ooh, crap, that's why. So I sent those 2 marines back. And you can see Teal already going for an expansion, greedy at the gold, but it doesn't matter because we're on the offensive. These rocks have not been broken down. They probably won't be broken down for a while, so he doesn't have to rush, fear anything. We control the center. We're constantly streaming units, and we basically killed Orange. As you can see, the majority of the time it is me controlling them. I'm actually going to go to my camera, so because I was pretty impressed with, I didn't have much good macro at home, but, I was able to multitask a little bit more than usual. Multitasking is one of my biggest weaknesses by far, other than minor micro stuff, but definitely multitasking is a huge problem that I'm running into lately. So, I've been trying to work on that a bit, As you can see, I really didn't want that Zergling to get by, so I made sure that those zealots attacked him. Just little things like that. I really didn't want him getting through and being a pest. So anyways, we'll slow the game speed down a bit now that we're getting heavy into the game. I'll try and keep my eye on the minimap in case I need to look at things that, once in a while. That interests you. And of course now I'm realizing, oh crap, I need to get tech, I need to do a little more, and I can tell in the mini-map there, down here, that you don't really have anything to worry about. Crap. So there we go. I know that we're not really worrying about being attacked or anything, so I can, I'm sort of trying to keep aware of that, but at the same time, I can always pull back that army. I've got everybody's units controlled on one hotkey. You know, I constantly regrouping units whenever I can. And of course right here, just poking and prodding, and I see those banelings there, and if I can force field this, I should be able to take this army. Wasn't the best choice, especially with those stalkers coming in from up there. As you can see now, I'm saying, oh crap, need to regroup, re-strategize. Briefly there, another player started controlling them, which was quite annoying. So, you know, they did a bit of a micro stutter, and we lost a couple units we didn't have to. But either way, retreating up to the high ground, getting in some zealots, because we need some more meat shields, and they're really good against those stalkers once you get them in front. If they don't, they either distract the stalkers like that, allow marines to deal high DPS, or, you know, they just do a lot of damage. So of course coming red to get stim, because he has not been getting stim. As you can see, other than red, we're all macroing up pretty decently. Let's bring up the, oh, that was the income tab. You can see red really far behind. I'm always okay with my macro, not amazing, but pretty good. Yellow, which we can't see right now, he's the one Protoss who hasn't been attacked that much, very good with his macro. As we can see, orange having been decimated. Let's quickly go to the everyone cam. As you can see, he just flew over there and, you know, trying to make do. So anyways, now I'm just doing some chrono boosting, working on some more of that tech route, getting out some detection as well, because I was afraid that maybe somebody is getting smart and going for invisible units. Even though we have a Terran player, you can't always count on that. Of course, stockpiling some pylons now, because I've got minerals, except I don't have that many to spend. Oh well. And I'm looking after my macro. You know, every now and again you just need to take a break, you need to look after your macro, very important. I could have looked after it a little bit better, for sure. I didn't. But, you know, as you can see, my harvester count starting to come up again, starting to be a good thing. As we can see, army counts, they're actually not too far off now. But, of course, we're having much, much better control. And, of course, a little bit of micro there to make sure those banelings don't get much damage. I was trying to wall them off, didn't trap them, but thank God he's not microing his banelings. He's running them into my zealots, so I notice that, so I run forward with the attack. And here, getting two-pronged, my army split up, and I say just retreat. I gotta regroup them, gonna bring them up here because I can warp in a few more units, and also because whenever we get up there, they seem to leave us alone. They're never comfortable with knowing what's up there. So, you know, it's just a nice, safe place to retreat. All those marines getting low HP, too bad he never gave me a medevac, but, you know, alas, whatever. So I'm just going to come off my camera for a little bit and just take a quick look around. As we can see, the marines here, absolutely no upgrades, but I've got one armor upgrade. And where is the Zerg player? Oh, he's not building units apparently. Did he leave the game and we never noticed? Maybe. I don't know. I would say he left the game and we never noticed. Wow, and we still won. As you can see though, these mutas... Oh no, there he is. He's got the mutas. What the hell? Ah, there we go. He's got the mutas, was doing a bit of attack there. That definitely helps, getting all of that economic damage. That was massive. That was really good for the game. As you can see again here, avoiding those spine crawlers coming in from the top, doing a little bit of poking and prodding, doing some damage. And we can see that there's absolutely no upgrades for Teal. And he is building some stuff, so I'm assuming some game. Of course, always keeping my army regrouped, retreating when needed, and when I see an advantage like this, I chase it down. Of course, gotta be wary of those spine crawlers, no point taking that damage until we have a much superior army. Okay, let's go back to income tab. As you can see, the macro, red's still sucking at his macro, never took a second base, but he's got mules. I'm doing pretty good, Teal's doing okay now, and yellow actually still doing surprisingly quite well, even after that famous harass, which Teal doing a really good job sneaking around the back here, but oh my god, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose any mutas, because that is a big ball if a Guardian Shield pops up. But thank god, oh, there is Blink, and he's forced to retreat, losing a couple of mutas, not able to do the damage he needs to, but thank god, here we go. He should be attacking the workers, not the command center, but whatever. A little bit of mismicro on his part. As you can see, now they're having to fight multiple battles. That really helps us. And here's a money pot for me. I say, ooh, units are streaming by that aren't on attack move? Yay! So, as you can see, I'm going to get a bunch of free kills. I take a little bit of damage, get a bunch. And you can see, of course, dealing with the macro, selecting his units to add to my control group, spawning some more units. And I don't know if you've been paying attention to the bottom screen here. I'm not usually using hotkeys to do stuff, but every now and again I might be, you know, building... Every now and again. And I notice those units coming in from the left there, so, you know, once again, trying to get my army better to fight them, but I really do a failed job of that. I was trying to get the Marauders into a better position. Couldn't quite do it. And, yeah, as you can see, going for some... There we go. And, of course, got a Colossi ready now, so taking a little bit of a risk here, not looking at the army, but at the same time, we just won a battle, so there's very little chance that they're actually going to be attacking us. So that's why I'm doing the macro, protecting against any potential drops, harass, because that's the type of things people need to do to get back into the game. And of course thinking about, I want another expansion, I'm expansion hungry. I'm sitting here with, mined out my main, so I need another base. You always got to think about macro. And now I'm pretty comfortable saying I've got a big enough army to take this on, especially those fine crawlers, but here's some missed micro on my part, or maybe red was controlling it. I have no clue. Either way, putting down a force field, blocking off those orange units, quite crucial to do something like that. Trying to keep my units grouped, but, not always working, especially when red controls some of them. It's much better if only one person controls it all. And of course I expected that to be a one battle, so that's why I looked back at my base to do my stuff. And now I'm just saying I want to get up this ramp, I want to get defenders position advantage on the high ground, and of course just force field off that bottom ramp, keep them from being able to get back up here to help defend their player, their teammate. As you can see, being careful to move my Colossi into the back there, making sure of that. Warping him some more units because I'm not too worried. And now that I see his units coming in there, you'll notice I'll chase him down. Instead of having my units half shooting the buildings, half shooting the army, I'll make sure I go straight for these units. If my micro was better, I would have taken out that sentry and focus fire from a couple of units, but it's not that great. I'm worried they're going to mind control my Colossi, so that's why I run it back there for a second. But as you can see, I realize that battle's one battle, so now I go back to here. Oh, I know why. See, you're not seeing all that down there because I had a group selected. Sorry guys, totally missed out on that perfect learning opportunity. Anyways, as I was saying, I knew that was one battle, so I went back and I did some macro. As you can see, building a warp prism because I was saying I wanted extra space. Now I'm regrouping all my units, trying to put my army all together, make it nice and strong, and I'm not destroying any of those rocks because I like her position of having control of that high ground, that center lane, with no other attack routes. We can't have them surprise us. They can't sneak in attacks anywhere, so there's really not too much to worry about, which is really good for us. Here I am just checking, making sure that they don't have... Oh, Burrowed Infestors die to Observer. Anyways, I'm just making sure they haven't taken expansions yet, poking and prodding. Of course, see those tanks sieging up, and I said I gotta kill them before they finish sieging, and I did as much damage as I could to them, and now I see that, well, there was the reinforcements coming there, my units are getting, reinforcements are being flanked, and so I bring all my army together, and I noticed them folks firing down my Colossi too, so that's why you saw them move that back for a second. Of course, yellow, arguably their best player, finally leaving the game. As you can see, red still not having any good macro, but it doesn't matter when he's down to one base and he's been using mules. So, production tab, you can see some upgrades, blah, 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 blah. As you can see, the game is now over. We have won. So, just to point out, red absolutely dismal on his upgrades, but I've got 2 and 2, so that's pretty darn good. And teal, where did he go? Did he upgrade his air? At least he got 1 attack upgrade. Better than nothing. So, but really, I don't see a lot of players miss out on that upgrade opportunity. If we look at the amount of resources every player has, let's just back it up a little bit before everybody left the game. Here we go. Oh. As you can see, red stockpiling a ton of minerals, not so much gas. Teal has a big stock, not as much gas, so that's part of the problem too. But really, what red should have been doing here is he should have been spending his gas on his upgrades, and he should have just been focusing on Marines at the moment. Just focus on Marines so you can get those upgrades. Because when you're this late into the game, when you're 20 minutes into the game and have 0-0 for upgrades, that's pretty pathetic. And it took him forever to get stim as well. So, and I've got 1 and 2, and if we look at the production tab, you can see I'm researching both as well as charge. Charge came quite a bit late. And we can see that, level 2 attack coming from our teal Zerg player, so good on him. And if we look at orange here, 0-0, does yellow even have any units? Oh, there we go. Yellow 0-0 as well, so, really doesn't bode that well for everyone. And purple, absolutely no upgrades either. So, you really want to think about that. These 3 players, though, they were always on the back foot. So, yeah, I understand that they couldn't do that. But, really, really great to point out, this Muta harass did a ton for us later in the game. Having the one player really distract and be able to constantly harass and poke at yellow, that was really, really useful. Don't get me wrong, But, at the same time, the main key concept was here, was we shared unit control. We did a lot with just putting our units together, always having a stronger army. If you notice, most of these engagements around this area, yellow would have to stream reinforcements in because they would never be waiting here. purple didn't have reinforcements that often, and then orange would always stay up in his base, and they were always in this awkward position where yellow would get to the party a little bit too late, orange wouldn't really help out half the time, or purple wouldn't have enough units, so usually there was one player extremely vulnerable for quite a while, and we just played sort of a dancing cat and mouse game. If we look at the units lost tab, this shows a really, really, really big story. As you can see, of course, I lost the most units, being the most aggressive and warping the most, and also because marauders are insanely hard to kill. That's for another day, though. Purple losing a ton, yellow losing the most out of his team just because he was the only one producing a lot of units. But purple losing a lot, we punished him a lot, and orange lost a fair bit as well. But, that definitely shows. And if we look at the spending tab, we can see it's a little hard to see here just because these graphs are all so big. We can see red failed spend on technology. I spent a lot because it gets important late game. Our opponents, they spent as much as they could. Purple definitely doing a good job going up to that infestor tech and stuff, and yellow obviously should have done a good job at everything. He spent a ton on army, but if we combine these numbers, we've got 10,300 plus 20, so that's 20,300 plus 8, so 28,000, 28,500, let's round it up. 28,500 army spending compared to, that would be about 19 plus another 4, 23 and a half, just because I'm doing rounding. So, you can see we spent about 5,000 minerals more in army, or resources more in army. So that made a big difference. Economy-wise, you can see this is all over the place, red suffering horribly. But, that unit loss tab really shows how keeping our armies grouped together was able to give us a big advantage, because we were able to really punish yellow a lot, constantly having him lose units without losing enough ourselves to make it worthwhile. Hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys learned something, and if you like 3v3, yay!